Good day, everybody. We're going to get started here in about a minute. Bit of a last-minute live stream, so we'll give it another 60 seconds or so for people to jump on, and we'll get started here momentarily. Welcome, everybody. I see we have quite a few people joining. Welcome, welcome. We're going to get started here in about 30 seconds. Currently, we're in members-only mode, so going to come on. Don't have a whole lot of time today. If there's anybody inside the POW Group private community as well, obviously you're a POW Group private member. Let me know inside of the POW Group private community chat room. And if you're a YouTube member, you can just type in the live chat. It's members-only mode for YouTube members. So if you're a YouTube member, you can type in any chart requests, any questions. And like I said, if you're a POW Group private community member, you can type inside the chat room, the private chat room on Slack, and I will get to those first. But we'll get started here in just a second. All right. Welcome back on The Pursuit of Wealth, everybody. It's Rod with POW Group. Today is Wednesday. Happy Hump Day. It's May 14th. Hope you're doing well. We're going to jump into a quick market update, and then we'll take a look at any member-only ticker requests. As I said, I don't have a whole lot of time today, and I know we have a few requests inside of the POW Group private community in Slack. So again, if you're a Slack member, let me know inside of there. I'll get to those first. And then if there's any members on YouTube, I will get to those after the fact as well. But as always, this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only, so it'll be all my own thoughts and opinions. You should never buy or sell anything based on anything that I say or write. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell, all that good stuff. You'll be notified on any future videos or when I go live. And consider joining. You can become a YouTube member. Tons of perks as well. You can check out all of the information there. It's only $2.99 a month just to join as a YouTube member, and you'll be able to comment in the live chat and do any kind of request like in this video. Sometimes I open it up to the entire public, so we'll look to do one of those a little bit more in the future, but I probably only have about 20 or 30 minutes today, and just in the POW Group private community, that one's probably going to take me at least 10 minutes. So I do have some spare time if any of the members want to take advantage of that. You can follow us over on X as well, formerly Twitter. Handle for that is @GroupPOW. Going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward. So we'll jump into a quick market update, and then like I said, if anybody does have any ticker requests, please let me know ASAP inside of Slack and in the live chat. And again, it's only for members, this video. So if we take a look at crypto at the moment, we're basically just range bound. The fact that we're holding above 100K on Bitcoin is great to see, and overall this is holding up well. We're waiting for a potential rate cut in the market. That very well could happen. We could see quantitative easing. We could see stablecoin legislation over the next really any time now, but there's a good chance that it happens over the next few weeks, in my opinion. We could see a flurry of ETFs, altcoin ETFs get approved. We know there's Solana, XRP, there's Dogecoin, Litecoin, and those could, in my opinion, have a very good chance of getting approved at some point over the next month or so, which could very well catapult and spark full-blown alt season. And then if we get crypto legislation as well around the same time and rate cuts, oh man, things are heating up in a big way. One thing I want to bring up again is the XRP chart. So XRP here on the weekly time frame, it's doing something that ETH just did. And what did ETH just do? ETH just shot up like 50% off of the recent lows. We were just down a few weeks ago, a little over a month ago, we were at $1,384, and this week we hit $2,739. And what happened was we had a 10-week moving average close above it, and then right before that we had a stochastic bull cross on the weekly time frame, and then we had a MACD shortly after. So look at when that MACD weekly bull cross occurred. It was right here before we closed above the 10-week moving average, and then two back-to-back consecutive weekly higher highs. If that happens to XRP, based on a similar percentage move and a lower market cap, XRP could be at $4 in a hurry. You can see here we're very close to seeing that weekly MACD bull cross. If that occurs over the next week or so, like I said, That'll more than likely, the price will more than likely be at around 260, 270 if that happens. And then once it crosses, we could see another couple weeks of bullish momentum similar to what happened here. And then that would mean, I would think, at least $4, maybe even $5 XRP in the not too distant future. So we're going to be keeping an eye out on that. In terms of movers and shakers on the day today, we had EOS, Songbird, and ARB leading the decline. And on the bull list, we have Solo and Quant. Bitcoin dominance has been dropping off a cliff. We could potentially see a bear flag as well if we start the daily bounce, which very well could happen. Daily oversold bounce over the next day or two, in my opinion. And then we'll form a potential lower high is the most likely scenario, I believe. And then we'll more than likely come back down, cool off this RSI, see the bear flag, and trend back down to around 60%. Mr. Mankey in the house, you're here, you bet. Yeah, let me know if you have any ticker requests, my friend, and we'll jump into those at the end. But yeah, we've never been this overbought on Bitcoin dominance. This is the highest level ever. So that tells me that when we really do start to pull back here, especially on the monthly time frame, yeah, we just started monthly consolidation, losing the low of the previous month. Excuse me, this is a great time because, like I said, based on how bullish we've been, you have to meet that amount of bullishness with bearishness, right? If you're an aggressive move up, usually it's an aggressive move down, right? It doesn't mean it all happens right away, but eventually the scales start to tip, right? And we've never been this overbought in history, so that means that more than likely going to be heading down towards that oversold, which gives tons of room for altcoins to really go parabolic and outperform. So Bitcoin, like I said, holding above 100K, which is great to see. We're about 5% away from all-time highs. Still in a monthly uptrend. Mr. Mankey says, gee golly, it's been a crazy journey. Love you. I love you too, buddy. Yeah, I mean, it's been crazy. You've been a member for 7 months on the core membership, so I really do appreciate the support as well. I'm not sure, how did you get that to come through, that big green banner? Looks like a super chat, but never seen that before. It's not a regular comment. But it didn't come through as a super chat, so I'm a little confused. But no, I appreciate your support. I really do. It goes both ways. So thank you very much. But we'll jump into the rest of the sector here. One thing I wanted to bring up, SPY. So we gave multiple heads up that SPY was more than likely targeting 586, 587. We had two bull flag targets. One was a daily bull flag, and then we had another hourly bull flag saying 592. Well, guess what? Today we hit it was yesterday, 589, and today again just hovering around that 589 area. So that daily bull flag target was reached. If you take a look at this descending resistance sloping trend line, you can see here we broke out of it. We back tested it three times, and lower wick closed right above it. That was a perfect back test and bear trap, and then straight into an EMA 12 and 26 bull cross. Daily bull flag confirmed. You just take your measured move there from the low to the high, move it up here, 2.382 fib, and it was saying 587 was the target. We've hit that. Hourly bull flag target 591, and we could hit that tomorrow. So when you look at the S&P, we were talking about this in the Power Group private community today. If you're looking at the S&P 500, and then you want to know about an individual stock, or let's say you want to know about a couple individual stocks, and let's say they're tech, or they've been doing well, it's like a chip maker, right? A semiconductor, or whatever it is. Some of these names that have been historically performing well over the last few years. Well, you're just going to automatically assume the same thing. You're going to assume an EMA 12 and 26 bull cross with follow through. You're going to anticipate that there's going to be a daily bull flag on there, maybe even an hourly bull flag because of the fact that there's one on SPY. So an example would be looking into Uber. So if we go to Uber, we look at the daily time frame. So what do we know? What do we want to look for? We want to look for daily bull flags, EMA 12 and 26 bull cross, not yet daily overbought. And that would be very evident here on Uber. We had a daily bull flag, that confirmed. And we zoom in here to the hourly time frame. Same thing, hourly bull flag. And the target was 92.20. We hit 92.17. So you literally can't get any closer than that. Actually, you can get closer than that because I just posted a video on this. SPCE, I literally posted a video 2 days ago. So if you go to my channel, click on videos, scroll over. Virgin Galactic, next target 363. That was 2 days ago. And the price when I made that video was at 326. So if we go from 326 to that target, that's about an 11%, 11.5% move off of that as a potential swing. But if you entered here on that daily consolidation right here, where we were, oh, whoops, that's not where it was. It was right here. So swing low to swing high. You can see here we held that 0.382 fib. So if you entered there on that low, on that test of the 0.382 fib, set your stop below the 0.5, that was a 27% trade opportunity. And all you would have had to do is risk about 3.5%. So that's a great risk to reward opportunity. And I mentioned in that video, target was 363. Let me just go back to the thumbnail here. 363 was the target, and when I made that video, the price was at 326. Well, guess what level we hit today? 363. You can't make this stuff up. And people think that I'm, some sort of fortune teller, or I'm looking into a crystal ball. Like, it's not complicated, folks. Like, I've done this a million times. SPCE, SPY just did it, hit its daily bull flag target. Uber hit its daily bull flag target. Tesla, daily bull flag, almost hit it. Literally can't make this stuff up. Like, it's just too perfect, right? And then you can use other confluence and patterns, right? So for Uber, not only was there multiple bull flags, it was also an ascending triangle that confirmed. You can see a series of higher lows and a horizontal line of resistance. Then you just take your measured move there from the low to the high. I like to use the real candle bodies, and it's saying somewhere around that 117 is the target, and we're already at 92. And then again, just on the flip side of that, if you do an invert scale, it's a series of lower highs and a horizontal line of support. That's a descending triangle versus an ascending triangle. And this would be bearish continuation. This would be bullish continuation. So hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, it's been bull flags everywhere. Bull flags galore over the last, well, really over the last week or so, a couple of weeks. So another name, what else were we looking at today? Tesla, I think that was pretty much it. DDD's getting back into a nice buy zone here, in my opinion. Back down under $2. We do have support, critical support there at 171. But with that being said, SPY, we're more than likely due for a pretty sizable pullback soon. It'll just be healthy. I could easily see us pull back to around 570, 560, form a nice daily higher low. Wouldn't want to see us lose 556 though. That'd be a cause for concern. And then after that, we have no weekly support all the way down to 508. But hard to fathom that SPY is it's just over 4% away from all-time highs after everybody thought the world was ending. And I even made a video, but in effort of time, I won't go back. But I said, is this the end? I said, nope, no way in hell. We're going higher from here. And sure enough, yeah, we lost the monthly uptrend, so I'm a little concerned about that. But could see this be a dead cat bounce and a potential lower high and lower low. I can't see that happening anytime soon, right? Like, we would have to form a lower high and a lower low, which would mean we'd have to lose 481 from here. We have the lower high, but we need the lower low, which in order to get that lower low, you'd need to lose 481. So that's a long ways away. I'd say it's going to be at least a couple more months of bullish action. In terms of MJ on the day today, is just not really getting much attention. We're back into the red. NEVI, DB, and Love leading the decline today. And on the bull list, we've got Oxley just knocking on that 10-cent mark. Again, this is why we diversify. This one's seeing a first ever monthly EMA 12 and 26 bull cross really any time. And we're in a monthly uptrend, and there's been lots of gains on this one. This one almost 10x, almost 1,000%. $1,000 investment into this thing at the lows at a penny would now be worth $10,000. So don't tell me that there's no opportunities in MJ, and this is why we want to be diversified. But, I mean, if you're calling, we're still down 97% though from current levels from the all-time high though, right? So, big whoop. It's like, okay, 97 versus 99, there's still a lot of opportunity here. Even if this thing goes back to all-time highs from 9 cents, that's a 31x, $1,000 into $30,000, $31,000. But imagine you get it at a penny, it goes back to all-time highs, $1,000 into almost 300 grand, $300,000. So that's why I was so bullish on this name. bullish on the fundamentals, bullish on the company long term, and I was bullish on the chart. But when you're at a penny, you get ridiculed. But now I get tons of people asking me, when should I buy Oxley? I'm like, well, you didn't want it at a penny. Why do you want it at 10 cents? Well, I don't want it at 10 cents. I want it lower than this. But if it goes back to penny again, they don't want it. If it goes to 5 cents, they're like, okay, I'll buy it. But then it goes back down to a penny and they're like, should I sell? It's kind of funny how the human mind operates sometimes, especially with regards to trading. But yeah, VFF, high tide. VFF closed at $1 today, so resetting that timer organically. And big old daily bull flag. This was another name that had a weekly bull flag. So we had our low, high, higher, low. Here's another example where you could have entered on that weekly consolidation, playing off that key support there at 63 cents. Could have set your stop at just below 63 cents at 62. You never would have gotten stopped out, and you'd be up 64%. So essentially, you could have risked 3-4%. That's a great trade. And the target on that was 107, and we hit 105. More than likely due for a pretty sizable pullback on this one, though. Probably back down into the 90 to 80 cent region into tomorrow, I would think. Pretty bearish reversal candle here today. Huge upper wick and closes the low of the day. So daily consolidation more than likely due tomorrow. Tilray, not much. Daily consolidation today. Daily uptrend, though, with the low, high, higher, low, and higher high, forming another higher low. So just bulls go up the stairs. We'll see if we can get this bullish RSI divergence, similar to what CGC just did, and then had a big move over 100%. SNDL is a name. I just made a video on that one. I said a big trade opportunity here, playing off of 126 support and then 115. I said more than likely take that scale-in approach, tier it in, right? Tier buy orders. Maybe a little bit at 130, a little bit at 125, a little bit near 115. Get your cost basis down to around 125, 120, and then look to swing this thing up to around $2. But we do have a daily bear flag, and it has confirmed, so target is 115. And again, they're talking about revamping their listing, so they might talk about delisting from the NASDAQ to enter the U.S. market instead of waiting for these quote-unquote lawmakers. I call them slackers. It's just ridiculous. Almost 7 years legal here in Canada at the federal level, and the U.S. can't seem to figure it out. But it is what it is. They're never first, they're never last. I don't think it'll be too long. Eventually, common sense will prevail. But at the end of the day, you know, they're just protecting big pharma, big alcohol, big tobacco, and those are the biggest in the U.S. So it is what it is. They help their corporate friends. Even though they're put there by the people working for the people, they don't really work for the people. They work for the big corporations and their constituents. And yeah, it's a sad state of affairs, but we'll see what happens. And that's why I think SNDL's been struggling, is because of that uncertainty. Oh, is it going to delist? What's going to happen? So, but that's why they applied to the CSE. They could list on the TSX, and then they would just transfer to the OTC, right, over-the-counter market from the NASDAQ, which you just have to transfer. If you're on Robinhood, I did a video on that one as well. You just have to transfer it out into a brokerage that supports OTC trading. All right, we'll jump into the chat there, Mr. Mankey, and if anybody else on the stream, any members, we'll jump into those at the end. Again, I don't have a whole lot of time today. I had about 30 minutes. I got about probably 10, 15 minutes left that I can do. So Dan wants to take a look at VFF. Oops, I wrote Dan instead of VFF. It's funny. Yeah, it's been crazy. I've been non-stop work. I guess I got to do the newsletter, the bi-weekly newsletter for the people who subscribe to that. And I've been working on my course. I'm about 40% done the advanced course. I'm hoping to have that done here in the next month or so. And juggling life and daughter, and it's been a whirlwind. So VFF, like I said, weekly time frame, we pretty much hit that target of 107 during regular trading hours. So I would anticipate more than likely a weekly inside bar in the next week, and just a kind of boring few weeks ahead. And we might even see some rotation into other names. You might start to see kind of VFF lag a bit as it's been leading, and a lot of those gains and profit, you more than likely see, $1 psychological strong resistance more than likely. So you might probably see it back down to around 90, 80 cents, and then form a nice daily higher low. Might even come back down to around 75 cents and fill that gap there. And then, like I said, we might start to see other names in the space benefit from some of that rotation. So we'll look for that to be the case. Weekly time frame. Yeah, we're going parabolic here on the stochastic and the MACD, but those have already since crossed bullish and could potentially stall out a little bit here. We're back above most of our weekly moving averages. We just have the 200 weekly there at 238, which I don't see us there anytime. We would need some sort of sector news to get us there. After the news that just had with Vanguard and separating their veggie business, I can't see there being any company-specific news that would take us there. More than likely a sector-wide catalyst, like Safer Banking, rescheduling. Terrence Cole, there were some comments today. He was pried, but wouldn't further dig into it. Just got a news notification on my phone. Yeah, we've got some wildfires here in Alberta and Manitoba. 'Tis the season, I guess, but luckily the city's not super smoky here in Edmonton like it normally is. In terms of the daily time frame, yeah, we're well above all of our daily moving averages. So again, I wouldn't be surprised. Still going to be at least a few weeks, maybe a month before we see a golden cross after just having a death cross. So I would say we'd come back down, back test that 200-day moving average around 81 cents, form a nice daily higher low, and potentially fill that gap there at 75 cents. Yeah, on the monthly time frame, monthly bounce underway. So again, we hadn't really bounced on the monthly in over a year. That is insane to think about, right? Each monthly candle was a lower high. There was a time there, where we seen pretty much, what was it like? No, not even there. It didn't even bounce. Yeah, like a penny. We broke the high of the previous candle by like a penny. Yeah, there again as well. So essentially, this thing went a whole year without breaking the high of the previous monthly candle. So this is what I love about technical analysis and these patterns that go on for so long, is the first thing you can say is, okay, well, if that pattern has been a pattern for 12 months, when it breaks, I want to be in, because it's probably going to break to the upside, and it's probably going to break up there like significantly, right? And we also had monthly hidden RSI bullish divergence. We had lower highs and lower lows in the price action, and the RSI has been trending higher lows and higher highs. So that's great to see. And again, that was a great move. Even if you just entered here on the break of the high of last month, that's a trade opportunity of around 40, just under 42%. All right, we'll finish up the requests in the Power Group private community, and then we'll jump into Mr. Mankey, your questions. And if anybody else has any, please let me know. But yes, SPCE. So again, daily bull flag target reached 363 to the penny. More than likely set up for a daily inside bar into tomorrow, and probably going to be dealing with some market headwinds. SPY due for probably a daily higher low, but looks like on the hourly time frame, yeah, we pulled back a little bit more than the 0.32, yeah, almost to the 0.5, so no longer expecting an hourly bull flag, but key support on space is SPCE. Virgin Galactic is going to be there at 337. It's a double bottom. And if we fail to get above resistance at 363, then that would be an hourly lower high and lower low. So if we lose key support there at 337, that would be an hourly downtrend confirmed. So that's the key support, and key resistance 363. After that, next support down at 310. It's a double bottom as well. So that should be strong support. But yeah, same thing with VFF, right? We just started the monthly bounce, first time in a long time. And SPCE is going on 7 months. It took 7 months. So it took VFF a whole year. It took 7 months to finally start the bounce. But it's a weak bounce so far. We need to get above 450 to negate this monthly bear flag. So that's key resistance. But nice strong daily uptrend. I just posted a video on SPCE as well, so if you want to go check that out as well, Dan. And then XRP, I'm still just kind of thinking it's going to be another week or so, and then we really should start to see I would say, within the next week to 2 weeks, we should start to see continued momentum higher. And then over the next, like I said, 2 to 3 weeks, I think we could be in new all-time high territory. If there's anything on the lower level. Yeah, it looks like hourly EMA 12 and 26 bear cross. We topped out right at the EMAs as well. So we could see a little bit more downside here in terms of the hourly. Yeah, but we're just stuck within this range here at the moment. So that's the range that we're playing in. And like I said, just looking at this as the most important chart, which is the MACD. We're very close to seeing that happen. And just again, look at what ETH just did. We're looking to follow in a similar footstep, right? Is right here we were gearing up for that cross, finally crossed, and then we saw 2 weeks of massive upside. So over the last 2 weeks, how much has it been up? About 45%. So if XRP were to see that MACD bull cross really any time now, any week now, could happen this week, could happen next week. Well, if we if we go 45% higher from there, that'd put us into new all-time high territory. Price discovery. That'd be around $4. And again, you have to factor in market cap and the amount of money that it would take to move it. So if ETH is double the market cap, right? And speaking of that, we only need to go a little over 100% on XRP to pass Ethereum and become number 2 right next to Bitcoin, which it did in 2018 before they removed all the Korean exchanges and whatnot. Again, just manipulation at its finest. But yeah, if ETH went 45%, XRP might even see like 60 to 80% based on, like I said, a lower market cap and not needing as much money inflows to skyrocket the price. So that's the most important. I'm watching HBAR. So yeah, we've had a decent move there off of the weekly lows. We are now up 86%. Starting the monthly bounce as well. And we lower wicked below monthly EMA 12, but held it. So that could be one massive bear trap. And nice save here by the bulls. Still showing very, very strong support. And again, most names are daily bull flags. So what are we going to expect on HBAR? We're going to look for a daily bull flag. And we pretty much got it. There's a lot going on here. Get rid of some of this other stuff. So we had a daily bull. Yeah, we had the bull flag back there. I think it was a weekly. Yeah, look at that. So you have our low, high, higher low, and the target was 22.9 cents. What did we hit? 23 cents. You literally can't make this stuff up right then. You just go from the low to the high there, move it out to your 0.32 fib. They don't make it easy, right? They had a period here where, they see that flush and bear trap, and then we get our move and we hit that target, right? So we were looking at this bear flag back in mid-April, and we had the target. We had that target of 23 cents way back in mid-April, and it just hit today, right? That's how long it can take sometimes. That's why I don't like trading options and whatnot, because it's impossible to predict time. I knew it was going to go to that price pretty much, right? I was right. I just don't know when. So that's the very difficult. That's why I don't like options. It's truly the casino version of the stock market, right? But it took 26 days for the target to hit. So when it's on the daily time frame, it can take weeks, a couple months. If it's on the weekly time frame, it can take a few months, a lot, like maybe 3 or 4 months instead of a month, right? If it's on the monthly time frame, it could take half a year to hit that target. If it's on the hourly, it might do it in a day, right? Might do it in a few hours. So that was a great target met. And another daily bull flag lining up. You could actually, I would draw it right there, because that's where we topped out on that bounce, and then that upper wick. So yeah, another daily bull flag. Whoops, another daily bull flag playing out. Had way too much stuff on the HBAR chart. So it's looking like next target's 26 cents. Very bullish on HBAR as well. And MACD bull cross, just like XRP's lining up. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see this thing back up to 30 cents in a hurry. Next 1 to 2 weeks, like I said, it's gonna be epic. More than likely gonna be ETFs getting approved and crypto legislation approved, stablecoin bill. See if that can happen. Might even be a surprise. We'll see. Could be no tax crypto. Could be something coming from the new administration in the U.S. We just had a 50 and a 200 weekly moving average bull cross as well. All right, yeah, you had a lot of requests there, Dan. I'm gonna run through this a little bit quicker here now. Golden cross over the next few weeks on quant. 119, the 200 week moving average, so that's going to be strong resistance to be watching. And same thing, just had a MACD bull cross and everything, all systems go essentially. QNT USD, very strong daily chart here. Daily overbought, so that's something to look out for. But yeah, daily, see here multiple daily bull flags, very strong daily uptrend. It looks like another daily bull flag. Actually, it's like the exact same chart as H-bar. That's crazy. So key support we want to hold is 92.82. No longer expecting a daily bull flag if we lose that. As long as that holds and we maintain above it, next target 119. And again, that lines up perfectly with the 200 weekly. But with that being said, weekly EMA 12 and 26 bull cross, very possible over the next couple of weeks, but very extended. We have no weekly support down to 58 bucks. So we still haven't confirmed a weekly uptrend. We still need that higher low and higher high. Would make sense that we potentially get a weekly higher low around our EMAs, wait for those to tighten up, see a bull cross, and then continuation. Probably going to have a lot going on in this chart here as well, so we'll just delete. And if we do start weekly consolidation next week, 86 must hold to potentially be a weekly bull flag. And then if we do confirm that and then tighten up, give our higher low, change the weekly trend, confirm the weekly bull flag, get our EMA 12 and 26 bull cross, measured move would be up there at 154. All right, moving on. I think we're good. See if there's any other news. Yeah, already over 33 minutes here now, so we'll go through this a little quicker here. So Mr. Mankey. Yeah, it just popped up. I got some IIPR, Innovative Industrial Properties. Yeah, it's MJ figured a nice time to start a position. It is a nice dividend with the future of MJ. Yeah, it's pretty crazy they have a dividend already, and then like tons of people unable to pay their bills, and it's going to be interesting to see how that all plays out. Pretty crazy. If you can look at those, I still have a hope for Tilray to inflate. I just shoulder shrug looking at it. Yeah, I mean, it's the reason I understand. Like, everybody talks about Tilray because everybody loves Tilray, and it's one of the leaders in the space, right? It's like next to Curaleaf, it's probably the biggest company. But you have to remember, like, we have to replace Tilray with MJ because you're just going to drive yourself crazy. And I know it's because like probably 90% of your money, or some people are really degen and they have 100% of their money in Tilray. So that's why they only say Tilray. But you need to change your vocabulary, and you need to change Tilray with MJ, right? Tilray's down 99% from its all-time high. Oxley, right, down from its all-time high to the low, was down 99%. It's still down after a 10x, 1,000% move. It's still down 97%. Trulieve. Everybody loves Trulieve, right? Well, that thing from its high to the low was down 94%. So it doesn't matter. This company has great financials as well. Green Thumb, GTBIF. This thing is profitable, and it was down almost 90%. So you need to start giving some of these individual companies, give them some slack, right? The whole sector is down 80, 90+%. So just for the sake of your own well-being, you're probably better to just stop hating on Tilray and just replace Tilray with MJ. Like, why is MJ down, right? And then that helps you psychologically. But yeah, we'll take a look at IIPR. I've been sounding the alarm on that one for a while now. Yeah, it was a monthly bear flag. I already had this drawn out. And the target was $44. Last month we hit 45. So again, you literally can't make this stuff up. But it should see a decent bounce here after being so beaten down. We just had a MACD bull cross as well. So yeah, it's looking pretty good. Looking like a longer term bottom could be in. That's what I said, like look to play off of that 44 support. And we almost hit monthly oversold as well. So again, if you know nothing about charting, just don't buy here and sell, and then buy and don't sell here. Right? It's pretty simple, but most people can't follow that because they're looking at the media and the mainstream media, their friends, social media, and they don't want to buy things when they should, and they want to sell things when they shouldn't. So it's just the complete opposite. Especially when you're new starting out. Actually, that was a monthly bear flag there. So yeah, if you would have entered, like that's why I love these bear flag targets for entries too, because you know we have a target of $44. Okay, well maybe I'll start entering around 50, and then I'll maybe a little bit at 45, and then if it gets to 40, I'll add another one. So in this logic, if you started to enter at 50, and then again at 45, which you would have had the opportunity, your cost basis is around $47 ish, 47.5, and you got to factor in fees, so maybe 48. So if you have an average of 48 to the high of this month, you're up 20% already. Right? And you could have set your stop below 44.40. So you could have risked, you get your average around 48. You set your stop at 43. You're essentially risking 10% to make 20%. That's a 2-to-1 risk reward ratio. Boom. Plus you could continue to hold this thing back up to around 75 to 100. Be tons of opportunity there. So hopefully that helps. Been loading on VFF as well. Nice position at 86 cents. Very nice. Yeah, that's a solid average. Had to lower my average. Yeah, exactly. It was great time to, right? We were oversold. That one had multiple bear flag targets as well, around the 50 cent, 40 cent area. It's kind of what I expect to. Some time to wait for sure, but have to wait. Some time to wait for sure, but time I have to wait is time I have to add at lower cost averages. Yeah, exactly. We were talking today too about how the Canadian federal budget isn't going to be due out. It's not coming out this year, but in the fall we should see some sort of like update. But yeah, probably not going to see any excise tax reform in Canada until at least 2026, which is what I've been believing and saying for a long time now. But again, just change your mindset, right? More time to accumulate and more time to rotate our crypto profits, hold our crypto a bit longer, see as much profit as possible, rotate those massive profits. If you're like me, my number one crypto holding is worth more than my entire MJ portfolio, and then I have like 12 cryptos. So my number one crypto holding, XRP, is worth, so my number one crypto holding is worth more than all of this combined, right? And it's worth all of my XRP is worth more than all of my other cryptos, which I have like a dozen. So one crypto, my number one holding is like 80% of my crypto portfolio. XRP is worth more than those 11 other cryptos, and my XRP position is worth way more than my entire MJ portfolio. My XRP position is actually probably worth more than the rest of my entire crypto portfolio and my MJ portfolio combined, just to give you some perspective. So I want to be looking to rotate that into that really soon. Not bad, tough, some easy share, get some easy shares. It's a small position on this for sure. You taught me a lot, and odds when it comes down to it been hugely helpful. Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'm glad that you're getting some value out of it. Timing as well, great teacher in general. Thank you very much. Yeah, well, like I said, I'm working on an advanced course at the moment. Should be done in a month. I'm working very hard on it. I probably spent close to 100 hours developing it now. Spent probably 40 or 50 hours just developing the curriculum. And I'm on chapter 1, lesson 6, and there's 8 lessons. So I'm pretty much done chapter 1, and then chapter 2 and chapter 3. So I'm about 40% done overall. And yeah, I've been working very, very hard on it. Essentially, my goal is to take thousands of hours worth of experience and research and time that I put into the markets and condense it into about 5 to 10 hours into a course. I have a huge position at 231 and XRP, another shoulder shrug, but not bad. Small position enough to make you smile. Yeah, I mean, it's everybody's got to start somewhere. So, in my opinion, 231. If we look back in 5 to 10 years from now, people are going to be like, "Wow, you bought XRP at $2," right? It's all relative. Like for example, like my average in XRP is 40 cents, like 42 cents, probably closer to 40 cents now, but there was last bull market, right, in 2017, it was at like half a penny, right? So, people, I could say, oh, I wish I would have had that 2017 average and had half a penny or whatever, right? Or like a tenth of a penny. It's all relative. Funny enough, that's what I did. Yeah, I'm around 50, 51, last 55. I'm not sure what you mean by that, but are we talking about a different stock now? Oh, IPR, yeah. Okay. Average 53, so I'm all right with that. Cool. You'll grab the course when you get some money. Oh yeah, no worries. It'll be around. And when you get the money, once you buy it, you own it forever. So, all right. Going into there, like I said, I wanted to only spend around 20, 30 minutes. It's already been over 40 minutes. So hopefully that was helpful. Always fun coming on, hanging out. And yeah, we're probably going to see a lot of these charts flip into bearish patterns because there's been so much bullish, like bull flags galore everywhere. But, it'll just be a healthy correction. Again, nothing goes in a straight line forever. So going to end it there. Thanks again for everybody joining. Again, we'll do another YouTube video at some point soon for the public. This was just for members only at the moment. And I'm going to be doing a little bit more of these as well because the channel is getting a lot bigger. So I'm going to start rewarding the members and whatnot a lot more. So we'll be doing more of these live streams for member only. And then if you're a member in the POW Group private community in Slack, you can request in there as well. I felt late, but yeah, you're right. It's all about time. Yeah, exactly. Everybody's different. And yeah, it's better late than never. And there's still a lot of opportunity ahead. I can't stress that enough. And learn from that, right? Take what we learned from, missing the boat on, say, XRP or something. It's like, okay, well, I'm not going to do that with MJ, right? Because, like, for example, like, the same thing went through XRP. Everybody said it was going to zero. It's a shit coin, blah, blah, blah. JP Morgan's creating its own coin. It's going to replace it. It was the same old story. And then it's the same thing now with MJ, right? Everything's going bankrupt. Tilray's going to zero, blah, 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 right? This company's going to zero. Even here, the MSOs, like they're talking about MSOS ETF just basically going to cease to exist, which it could, right? It's possible. Lots of ETFs have been shutting down, but, is that very likely? Probably not. Is all the MJ industry growing or dying? I would say it's growing substantially. So we're probably just in a turbulent part of the market where you get that irrational, it's just nothing makes any sense, right? Some of these companies, if they just liquidated all their assets or their cash position, the company, if it were to liquidate or to sell or go bankrupt, like you get more, just from their cash reserves and assets than their current share price, right? So share price is an illusion, not an accurate value or representation of the company. Absolutely. Just keeps moving forward. Absolutely. All right, going into there. Thanks again, everybody, for joining, and we'll see you again soon.